I'd rather not people know that. Thank you.
But Heather Dorff watches porn?
Stop it.
Heather Dorff watches
It's recording.
Correct, it totally is.
Plead the fifth.
Hi guys, welcome back to Scream Queen Stream. We're your hosts, Jessica Cameron and
Heather Dorff.
And I am so excited today because we have a wonderful guest, a woman I greatly admire and have a huge, tremendous respect for, not only as a wonderful actress, but also as a fellow YouTuber, Miss Monique Parent.
Very happy to be here. Thank you.
Because it's Women in Horror Month, we're trying to showcase some of our favorite women in horror, and we felt it was a wonderful way to kick off the month of February with somebody who is such a valid, great, strong, independent, seasoned woman who's been titled the thinking man sex symbol.
Well, I'm going to start off, so we're going to be asking you some questions, just some horror film related and some just in general, right? So this is actually, this next question, actually, I thought of this because I myself grapple with this, as all of our fans know, and Jess keeps trying to get me to do it, and I don't want to do it. I'm very nervous. So I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on nudity in indie film? Mm-hmm. And what advice would you give to other actresses in regards to doing it or not doing it?
I've written a whole book on the subject, which has not been published yet because I'm really wimpy about that shit. And nobody's ever read it except me, and I keep feeling like it's not good enough, but blah, blah, blah. That's my own drama.
But side note, if we follow you on YouTube, when it is released, you'll be able to find out about it.
Nudity on film. And I wrote it as an instruction manual for filmmakers and actors. Yeah. Because there is no guide, and
there should be.
Wouldn't it be nice if, a 21-year-old actress being asked to do a nude scene could get a book, and she knew exactly what was expected of her, and the director also had that book, and he knew how to talk to his actor.
Right.
That's my goal with it, and I'll get it done eventually.
Right.
Someday. I think nudity... I am comfortable with nudity.
Right.
I grew up in the theater. Mm-hmm. To me, the body is just a body. The number one thing, you have to decide whether it's good for you.
Right.
There is no right or wrong answer. If you are okay with nudity, then you are. If you are not, then you are not. And everybody says, oh, I'll decide when they offer me, $100,000 for that role. No. You have to decide that on your own, based on nothing. You are either okay with it or not. A filmmaker should never try to pressure an actor into doing nudity because it's going to show on camera.
Right.
And an actor who isn't comfortable with nudity should never do it because it will show on camera.
Right.
And it really, that's my whole thing. You do what works for you. Right. If you are not comfortable with doing a nude scene, or let's say you're comfortable with doing nudity from the rear, but you want to have pasties on.
Right.
That is your line.
Right.
Your line is your line. Find where your line is and respect that. For me, my line was always... real versus fake. People say, oh, well, you did these movies and those were hardcore. It's like, no, they never were.
Right.
This was the line for me, and
right.
I didn't cross it, and I can wake up with myself every day because I know that I made the decisions that were right for me.
Right. Right. And I think, you know what, and I do understand. My thing is, it's not so much that I'm against nudity, because I'm actually not. I believe it's absolutely necessary given the right circumstances. Like, for example, when the most nude every other scene shows, and one of my favorite shows is Game of Thrones, mm-hmm. but I know it sounds weird, but it's sort of necessary for the environment and the times and how they sell the people and the mentality there and how women are viewed and all these different things. I think my issue with doing it is, especially in indie film, is that I'm dealing with people who either do not have the proper experience.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Don't know how, will shoot you not in your best light. And we all want to be
also
in
known as, like, you've got to make sure that you've got a good DP, good lighting team, because there's nothing worse than a beautiful woman looking horrible.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, though, on most indie films, it's kind of like we got what we got, and we gotta go with it.
You're putting nudity into a film for a reason.
Right.
It helps increase the marketability of that film.
Right.
That being said, the nudity needs to be of a certain quality. There's no point in having boobs in a
the boobs
movie
don't look good.
if the boobs don't. Well, it's not even that the boobs don't. If the actress goes,
Yeah, right. If
that,
she's scared, right.
that is not going to sell your movie unless that's the character.
Right.
The same way an actress who's comfortable with. So, yes, it's a marketing tool, but you need everybody to be on the same page.
Right.
Everyone needs to feel comfortable. As an actor, people go, "Oh, you're being exploited." As an actor, you're being exploited no matter what.
Period.
Whether your clothes are on or not, you are being exploited. And you are exploiting yourself. And you have the choice of what level you want to exploit yourself.
Absolutely.
But I do think, like, I always say, you want to make sure it's well lit, a good team.
Yes.
Like I said, the most beautiful, young, good-looking girl can look horrible
I've seen
with
it.
bad angles.
I've seen it so many times.
No.
Like, I've seen this person in real life. This person looks 1,000 better in real life.
I'm going to make you naked in my movie.
Bull,
Because you'll
no.
look gorgeous.
You keep
Everybody
hiring
made it
women
looks
who have, like,
beautiful.
perfect... Nah.
They were not perfect.
It's
No.
forever on film.
Correct.
It's forever.
It is forever. Well, and here's my
And I
big
won't
issue
make a
too.
gif of you and put it on Twitter.
But you did post some nudity.
No, I did not.
Yeah,
I
you
posted
did.
your bloody butt.
No,
Wearing underwear.
not me. I'm talking about Mania. I'm talking about Mania.
They looked great in these.
I don't care.
And I had their permission.
No one bought the film yet. My biggest thing is, like, you want to see me naked, bitch? Buy the film.
Then you would put that in your contract,
Allude to it. Absolutely.
You know
show
how much
side boob,
nakedness
whatever.
is happening
show
in
butt.
I did a movie. It's a lesbian love story. It's a fucked up lesbian love story. But there's a ridiculous amount of nudity. It's all plot crucial.
It's a lot of nudity.
But there's a lot of nudity. So if I were to be like, I'm not going to show any nudity in stills, there'd be no stills.
That is true
Yeah.
in this particular
There's, like, a lot.
situation.
But that being said, they look fantastic. And for the record, the one girl was like, hey, look, in that one scene, the angle, I had a baby. You can see a couple stretch marks. I was like, absolutely, let me punch in, let me take care of that. And I think that that's really important.
It is.
'Cause I want you to look at the end result and be like, damn,
It is
Right.
hugely important to be able to trust the filmmaker.
Right.
My very first nude scene that I ever did, I was betrayed by the filmmaker.
So was I.
She's done it
And
one
the
time.
one
Never
I
got finished.
did.
And I discovered that while watching the movie
Yeah.
with my mother.
Oh, no.
Oh no! Actually, though, my mom would be like, "God damn him!"
My mom was good with it.
Yeah,
my
she
mom was
was
cool,
good.
but at the same time, it's like, I
Yeah,
did not. So I got a very rude introduction, which
I think it's important.
is kind of good because I learned early
right. What to say, what not to say.
not to trust the filmmakers
No.
because they will not always necessarily be honest with me. They are looking to market their film. They are not thinking about my best interests. I have to look after my own best interests.
So, moral of the story is look after your best interests.
Know yourself. Decide whether it's something that's good for you or not based on dollar amount.
No.
Make that decision. You're either okay with it or you're not. Don't say, oh, I'll wait and see on the movie. You're either okay with it or you're not.
And the one thing I will say too, make sure everything is detailed in your contract.
Yes.
'Cause this is how I learned the hard way. If you don't say specifically what kind of nudity you're going to do for what scenes, they can add stuff on.
No, they can't. No. For the record,
They'll fight you.
No, it doesn't matter. Legally, they cannot. Just so that we are clear, because we're educating people here. What happened was that Dorff did not specify in our contract,
What
and then the
specific
filmmakers
nudity
tried
of
to
the
say
scene you do.
because she didn't specify she had to do all this stuff. No,
And I was
that's
there.
when you leave. You can call
But
me.
they were
you can call
threatening
your
to
lawyer.
sue me
That's fine.
for
Then you
production.
say, let sue me. Bring it on. What, you were paid $100
I
a
did.
day?
I met him
Maybe?
halfway. No, I was actually it was a lot more.
No,
Well,
but
for
the
nudity, I
filmmaker,
hope so.
Yes.
if the
It was
filmmaker
a lot
does
more.
not specify in the contract what you're being shown, the fact that it is not specified does not mean you do everything that's not in writing. Absolutely
Just,
not.
at the end of the day, though, for your safety, just have them specify it, because then there's no argument. They can't say, well, nope, this is in my contract. I said I'd do this kind of nudity for the XYZ scenes. Otherwise, no, I'm not doing anything else.
I want to touch on that real quick. I've heard from a male actor. This came from another friend.
Right.
But he's like, oh yeah, he said what he loves doing nude scenes is sometimes the women let you fuck them.
What?
And I know that there's probably some 21-year-old actress who's young and excited and inexperienced, and she's on a set for the first time, and she's doing a nude scene with a guy. Unless it has been written into your contract that you are having actual intercourse with your co-star on camera,
Which
you
should
are
never happen
not-
because then it's porn.
then it's porn. Yes, exactly.
And that's
That is
no
porn.
judgment. If you want to do porn, that's
That's
fine.
great.
Understand
You want
that
to do
is-
porn?
You've signed
awesome.
up for that.
You
but
signed up for
not
that.
That
signed
is
up for
not
it.
the same thing.
Yeah.
But don't ever let anyone pressure you into doing something that is not written into your contract.
Right.
And there should be no penetration. Even like in French
None.
kissing, there's no actual tongue in mouth unless you allow it.
Unless
But
you
I
have
don't.
discussed
Yeah.
it and said
Believe
it's
it or
okay.
not, I do, because I'm like, this does not sell. I've had so many actors come up to me, and
you're
they're
fine.
so...
But you talk about it first.
Yes. Yeah, we always come to this mutual agreement. It's like, you know what, this is a super passionate, like, are you okay with it? I'm okay. Okay, fine, let's just do that. Yeah, but it should be a conversation.
When I've
That's
had
the
to
thing.
do a rape scene, and it's usually me convincing the actor to be violent
Yeah,
with me
me
because
too.
they're saying, no, I don't want to. No, it's like, no, do
You
it.
have to.
Do it. They're like, but I will bruise you. I will heal
Yeah.
from a bruise.
Yeah.
I give you permission to
Right.
bruise me. That's fine.
Right. I'd rather have a couple bruises and it actually look real
I know.
than you be hesitant and the scene just
But also,
fail.
hesitancy in that kind of scene doesn't work.
No.
Yeah.
But there
Like-
should still be no penetration.
But
No
you-
penetration
no,
under
you-
any circumstances.
Everything, you have permission for everything. Nothing happens without permission. And if somebody touches you in a way that you did not agree to, you stop.
Yeah, and don't
Hot
feel
safe
bad.
You
word.
say, it's like,
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah. Say, get the fuck off me, bitch.
Not happening.
What is the best advice you've ever gotten, industry or non-industry? Although I feel like you've mentioned your industry advice, which is if there's anything in your mind to do or that you would be happy doing, go do it.
But don't do it if you're not.
So what's your best non-industry advice?
That you've ever received, maybe.
Best advice.
Or that you would give?
Yeah.
Well, for women, stop plucking your eyebrows. There comes a point where at this point it stops growing in. and,
Right? Nobody
you
tells you
know,
that. They don't tell
They
you.
don't tell you that. Oh, Kegels. No, I'm serious. Ladies,
That's knowing laughter from Dorff.
your bladder can fall out.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
It is horrifying, and it is a reality that we have to think about. So, Kegels.
No, I'm gonna tell you straight up, guys. She is absolutely right. Ever since the last couple years, I've noticed I used to be that person that wouldn't pee for 8, 9, 12 hours even on set. Once I didn't pee and I was fine. Now it's like I have to pee every 45 minutes. You gotta just do that. Work it out. Work it
Google
out.
search how to do it. I'm doing mine right now.
Yep. Let's all Kegels. And everyone together now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2.
Best guess ever. I just want to point this out. Best guess ever. All right. I think that's good on the advice thing. It is true, though. I'm
And
serious.
take
ladies.
Franklin. You know, Betty Davis said it. It still holds true today.
What now?
Betty Davis said, people said, what is the best advice that you can give actors?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, take Franklin. Still holds true. Take Franklin.
This is true.
Not the turtle, the street.
Yes. This is very true. Welcome to Los Angeles. I used to laugh at the SNL skits that made fun of everyone that talk about how they get everywhere in the traffic and stuff. But then once you're here, you realize, it's an actual... It affects your life.
It's a real thing.
Yes.
Yes.
why
It
Dorff is
actually
hermit.
affects your life. Traffic here is something else.
Yeah.
And I've lived in big cities. I lived in New York. I lived in Chicago, Atlanta. Come on, guys. New Orleans. I've lived in big cities. LA is a whole different ballgame. It's on a next level.
I lived in Phoenix for a little while, and people would be like, oh, the traffic's terrible. I'm like,
You don't
are you
even
fucking
know.
kidding me? I'm in LA.
Even Chicago, like,
It's fine.
don't get me wrong, Chicago and New York are close. They're close, but the problem with LA is Chicago is very compact. Even New York, Manhattan, all the areas are compact. And then there's the subways that you can get around. So, right.
Don't.
There's no subway. I can't get from here easily on a freaking, 15-minute subway to Burbank. No, I have to drive for over an hour, under 11 miles. It's crazy. But yeah.
I've been stuck getting to Heather's, which is 11 miles from my doorstep.
Yep.
2.5 hours.
Yep. I mean,
Airport, I once hit the worst airport traffic. It was 5 hours.
Yeah.
I thought I was going insane.
Oh, it's horrendous.
it is. It can get real bad, especially around holidays and all that stuff. So,
Or, Wednesday.
but you know what? You gotta pay for the good weather.
We
You
did have
really
great.
do.
It's been awesome the last couple days.
It has. Well, after our monsoon, which, don't get me wrong,
We needed the rain.
I was totally okay with, but literally everything floods here. I'm like, this is how much it
it's
rains
not a
every
city
day.
that's built for it.
We are not designed for wet weather.
Rain at all.
Also,
Everything
side
is
note, guess who
flooded.
can't drive in the rain?
You.
I can drive in snow like a motherfucker, but rain,
Me and her were on
I'm
the
drowning.
highway, and this car, we're all going like 60. This car hits a puddle, slams his brakes, so he spins out and hits the median. What does this girl do? The second
I'm like,
she
we're
gets
gonna
hit,
die.
she's
Naturally,
slamming
we're
on the
all
brakes. I'm like, let
gonna
your foot off the
die.
brake. I'm like, let your foot off your brake, let the foot off the gas. And she does that, and then we just cruise right through it. I'm like, all right,
Just do nothing.
now put your foot back on the gas slowly.
But I just went to death mode.
But she literally watched someone slam on the brakes
And then had to
out
do it
and
again.
crash, and then she started to
do
do
the
it.
same thing.
I'm gonna do the exact same
Because
thing.
it works so well.
Yes, that worked out so well for
I
this
just
other
in
guy.
the car. I'm like, it's time to die now.
Yeah, no.
The rain, it's the monsoon. It's over.
It's not that bad. Again, if you grow up in anywhere.
I grew up in Canada. The problem is, if it's
California.
gonna rain that much, it's gonna turn into snow. If it's in Canada.
Yeah, you're in Canada. It
Yeah.
snows.
Chicago,
So I can
legitimately
drive in
rains.
snow like nobody's business.
Right.
I'll
so
dig
can I.
myself out of a fucking 10-foot ditch. It's
Right.
fine.
Yeah, no, Chicago is different in that it actually rains and floods quite a lot. So you hydroplane. I've hydroplaned with them in the car, and we 360'd 3
Of
times.
course.
While they
We
were
were, like,
screaming, I'm
7
like, we're
inches
okay,
from a pole.
we're okay. I literally
like a
stopped the car
balloon.
within feet of a pole. I'm like, because you just have to know, you just have to learn. Don't slam on your brakes. That is the important lesson. Anyways.
There's educational advice
Yes.
of the night.
All right. This is actually, Jess actually came up with this question, but I think it's really good. Knowing what you know now, what would you tell yourself, your 20-year-old self? So knowing what you know now, what would you tell your 20-year-old self?
Don't do as much nudity. I was very comfortable with my body, and I had no judgment on it, and so I felt that because I felt that way, other people felt that way,
Right.
and it has dramatically impacted my career.
How so?
Absolutely.
Very negatively.
Earmuffs, Dora. Earmuffs.
There are. I can't get auditions for things based on the fact that I've done nudity. Even though I've never done hardcore pornography, and I've watched those same shows that won't bring me in based on a judgment of what I've done. I've watched them cast hardcore
Porn.
girls
Yeah.
for stunt casting, but they won't bring me in because of a judgment.
Ugh.
And so, while I think that nudity is a valuable skill, I think it should be under your special skills on your resume,
I can be
like
naked.
running or baseball or yoga. Any of those things that you have that you can do and
That's
portray on
different,
camera,
right.
I think it's a special skill. But I took too many jobs because I was so happy to work.
Right.
And that has hurt my career.
I could see that. I could see that. That's my thing about nudity too. It's like, if you really believe in the role, you really want to do this, not because you just want work or you just want a
Correct,
paycheck.
and that's always what I say. I mean, I'm never like, you should just be naked because you should be naked.
Right.
It's like fluff. And to be fair, there's no nudity in my first film, Truth or Dare.
No.
There's no nudity in an ending.
No.
You were naked in a scene, but we don't show anything.
Right.
And I think being nude is not an issue, but I did so much. It was the 90s. It is different now.
Cinemax was like the height of
Yeah,
like, the
right.
It
90s.
was
Yeah.
it was brand new to be able to turn on your TV and see a movie.
Right.
That had not existed before. So they made a lot of things that involved nudity so that people would watch, and that's not being done so much now. No. So the whole world has changed since then. You see it on Game of Thrones. You see it on everything.
Right. I mean, but you're right, though, in the sense, though, it's weird because there's still sort of I think we're going to get over it. Like, there's a stigma against people who have, like, visible tattoos, like, working in places. It's going to, in time, it's going to go away. I think
the tattoo thing is going to be a constant problem in film. Because
I mean, if you have, like, I'm a douche tattoo on your forehead.
Because it doesn't matter. It's
you have a
copyright.
butterfly under your ear.
Copyrights is an issue.
No. I'm talking about normal people. I'm not talking about actresses.
I'm talking about film.
No, I'm talking about
if you're an actor, don't fucking get tattoos.
Don't get tattoos.
Because I'm not going to deal with getting copyright from the tattoo artist, and they're who owns that art.
Actually,
on your body.
Though more, especially in LA now, more tattoo artists are just right off the bat signing it off.
It doesn't matter every time.
Such an issue,
but it's so rare.
That being said, I have the copyright on my tattoo, my one tattoo. But that being said,
that's because you're smarter than the average.
Well, be careful. Just be careful.
Don't get tattoos if you're an actor.
But no, I'm not even.
You want to be a blank canvas.
Exactly.
But you want to be able to be anything or anyone, and if you have giant roses tattooed here.
What about Justin Theroux?
You will have to spend another hour and a half in the makeup chair.
$1,000,000,
and he's hot as hell.
No, but like
he's in all of his shows. They're just showing him.
But it's
he's
fine.
Full body.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Like,
if you're
as an up and coming actor,
no, you can't.
You're a blank canvas. Yeah. Let yourself be blank.
I can add stuff so easily. I can't take it away.
No, it's the same thing as if you dye your hair blue and stuff, or you dye it like pink, blue, and
you're
orange.
only going to play blue-haired parts.
Right, you're only going to get those parts.
It's worse.
It's better
there's no copyright on blue hair.
But at the end of the day, it's better if you come in and you say, I'm willing to do, if you need me to shave half my head and dye it blue, whatever, if you say you're willing to do those things, that will get you a lot more opportunities than coming in and looking that way already. Because then you can't play normal characters. Does that make sense?
And I also, like, at least 3 or 4 films I do a year start out with, do you have any tattoos?
Right.
Which is a lot. Like, when you think about them, like, I do 9 to 15 independent films a year as an actress.
Right.
And I pay my bills, but not, like, by an egregious amount.
Right.
So if you were to take a fourth of those away...
Well, and to be fair,
I have to get a day job. That's the reality.
The one tattoo I do have is hidden by a bra strap.
Yeah, she covered it. It's like on the
I
vertical.
have it literally on my
so that her bra strap covers it. And it's
smart.
text.
Yes.
So
and it is text, and it's very small.
You could also argue that nobody owns it because it's text that somebody else designed that we don't even know who did it.
It's Hebrew. It's literally Hebrew. It's a word. It's a phrase. It's my personal quote. And at the end of the day, yeah, it's not a piece of artwork. Do you know what I'm saying? It literally is just words.
So you have no tattoos, though.
I have no tattoos.
And
I've thought about it. I thought, what should I get? And
unless you believe in it, I don't think you should.
For me, and if you want a tattoo, great, that's awesome. It's your body.
Right.
Knock yourself, tattoo everything if you want to. That's
right.
Yes.
Not
for me, I have commitment issues.
So did I.
Right.
I mean, I don't even want tan lines because you have those tan lines for an entire summer.
Right.
Oh, that affects everything you wear.
Right.
I like a tight color palette. The only way I could realistically do a tattoo, it would have to be the glow in the dark.
Or the white tattoos, which are really cool. You can't really see.
I have my own color issues.
I agree.
I don't like needles.
I don't either. I actually passed out that day. So they gave me the tattoo and I was fine, and then they pierced my ear and I passed out. I don't know. I'm weird, but this tattoo meant something to me, and I think
that's important. I think that a tattoo should mean something to you. I think too many people are casual about it.
No, and trust me, I've had in my mind bunches of other tattoos, but at the end of the day, I won't commit because this is the only one that actually.
I can see a proper person, not a scratcher.
If you have a child, you can get your child on your body.
Or I don't know, birthing a child is probably relevant.
That's gonna leave.
It's not going anywhere for 18 years. Why don't you deal with it for 18 years and then decide if you want a tattoo after that?
I know mess. A lot of women who have lost a child.
Yeah.
Oh yes, of course.
And then they get
before or after birth. And then it's like, okay, you want to remember. Of course. That life spirit.
Basically, at the end of the day, if you're getting a tattoo, make sure it means something to you. Really think about it, kids. Right. I don't think anyone should do anything that's a permanence before 25, and that's marriage, tattoos, anything.
Pregnancy,
all of that. Because at the end of the day 25 is when you really start thinking about.
It's when you really start cluing in.
Yeah.
Right?
And you're such a different person after
You
that than you
are.
were before that. And it's not fair that if you have to deal with repercussions made when you were a different person.
Yeah. Basically, anything you do before 25 and lower should be reversible. Like changes that don't really matter, have fun, be free, all those things, but don't get anything permanent. Children, marriage, tattoos, avoid it. 25 and over, go for it.
So, side note, my stepsister had a really poorly done scratch or done tweety tattoo on her hip line. And my mother was really smart because I'm Scottish and Irish, so when I give my word, like, that's it. I was raised to believe that way. That's how I function. You don't need a contract. I always do get a contract. Always. But I was raised to believe that even if you don't have a contract, when you give your word as a Scottish Irish person, that is your word.
Yes.
It's your blood. It's everything that means everything. So my mother, like, literally at like 16 was like, you have to promise me you're never going to get a tattoo, and here's why. Your stepsister has this tweety tattoo, and look at it, it's hideous. And I was like, oh my god, it's fucking frightening. You're right. Why would I ever want that on my body? That's disgusting. So I promised her I wouldn't. So I was like, I can't go against my mother. What are you going to do?
And my mom was the opposite. My mom was like, if you ever choose to do something, make sure you've thought it through.
Really another valid.
Carefully.
See, this is good parenting at work.
She's like, you want a tattoo, that's fine, but you better think about that. And you better realize when you're 60, if you say, if you get a tramp stamp, you're 60, you have a tramp stamp on your ass. Think about it.
But side note, do you ever see that scene in like The Sweetest Thing where they're like, when I was 20s, my boobs were like up here.
Yeah.
And in my 30s, my boobs are like down here. That's how your body works, my fucking friend.
I was gonna say though, no, you
tattoos
can't
and gravity
sell that right now.
not a
No,
fucking
because
friend.
they have a woman who has full body tattoos and she's like 65 and she still looks amazing. Taking care of
Exception
yourself
to the
is
norm.
important.
It is
You
the
could win the
exception.
lottery.
It is.
Go fucking play the lottery.
You don't know how you're going to age until you age.
True, until you actually do.
And good luck fucking fixing it.
And
No,
for the record,
yeah.
everything that you do when you're young will show when you're old. And you don't realize that.
This is
So, remember that with every cigarette you smoke, Heather Dorff.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
I know you don't like vegetables.
Eat them. Eat the
Just eat them.
vegetables.
Just eat them. I know you don't like them.
Or juice them.
Juice them, drink them, get them in your body. Make that a habit because that will make your life better somewhere down the road.
It will.
Whether it is from how it looks, whether you want to be completely shallow, or whether it's fighting cancer.
Right.
Get your vegetables in. Eat your freaking salad. Eat your broccoli. I know everyone's like, I don't like it. You know what? You're not 2 years old. Eat your broccoli. Be a grown up. This is what adulting is because it's gonna, you know, when you're 60, when you're 65, when you're 70, and you go, oh, I'm dying because I've got this cancer. It's like,
Because
you had the chance to put the good stuff in your body and prevent that. Please do it.
Mm-hmm.
As I have my cocktail.
Well, but that's
You
all
can still
right.
be mad.
Moderation.
And before we forget to mention, you should definitely follow this lovely lady on her YouTube channel, which will be linked down below. You will love her content as much as I do. It'll be your favorite part of your weekday.
Thank you so much for checking out Scream Queen Stream. We hope you loved it as much as we do.
If you want to see more of our videos, check out our YouTube page. And while you're there, how about you subscribe? You want to see more? Just tweet us. Find us on Facebook. Join in on the fun.
And most importantly, if you really want to join us on this crazy ride, check out our Patreon page and become a patron for amazing, awesome perks that we give out monthly.
As well as early access to all of our videos.
Free giveaways.
And a whole lot more fun shit.
So check it out.
We'll see you there.
Stay bloody.
You stole my tagline.
I did.
You're a horrible friend.